See that just as I arrive, Special Constable synchronizes just as I arrive here. See that just as I arrive, Special Constable synchronizes just as I arrive here, as you can see. Not getting out, not stopping, just showing up because I should arrive here. It's an Ottawa Special Constable, continuing their 3 years of stalking as well. Paid to harass people, doing no legitimate work as usual. A bunch of criminals, and all the males mostly are Masons as well, so more stalking from them. You can see that was timed exactly right when I got over here. He shows up. So I get off here, stalking biker, get him on camera. Get it right on camera, fat slob. As soon as I get off the bus, you can see how he's positioned there. And he's stalking drug trafficking fat biker.
Yeah, usually there's this cross here. Okay, the slaves, they're on both sides of the street. Let's wait till the slaves go. Let's a second here. Okay, both sides there. This is some stupid act where she's taking a picture of the guy. As soon as I exit, look at this. As soon as I step out, you got some guy who crosses the street, stands there, and then he has this female taking a picture of him. This is these stupid acting skits these slaves who are community-based agents have to do, because they're slaves. No free will. Do what you're told. Wow, that was a great picture she got there, wasn't it? That was excellent, huh? Put that one up on the mantelpiece, I guess, huh? Every time I step out, there's some stupidity going on just outside the door, usually. Not every time, but say 70% of the time. Usually they'll have a few people on the sidewalk just walking just as I exit, like right near the front of the door. Not every time, but like I said, but a lot of the times. But tonight they had some people there taking a fake pic, pretending to take a picture on both sides of the street. Because when you sign on with the Canadian communitarian system to get your free shoebox condo and your free stuff, they train you to perform little silly skits like that. So you'll be a grown adult and you'll be performing little theatrical skits where you pretend to do things that you aren't really doing. Doesn't that sound like fun? You'll have an exciting life ahead of you of doing slave assignments every time you get a message on the app on your cell phone, and you'll have to go and stand outside in the freezing cold and perform little skits like that, or like hold the doors of your car open and pretend to root around in your car. Yeah, it's great. And for your hard efforts, you will receive some wonderful material benefits. Won't that be grand? The only prerequisite is that you have a really low IQ. And you know, you also have to train your kids to be psychopaths as well. That's another requirement of the Canadian communitarian system. So you would train your kids to snoop on their neighbors, rat out their neighbors, perform, train them in gaslighting techniques at a young age, train them in lying and inversion. These are things that you'll have to do if you want to have a place within the quote-unquote community or any of these smart city communities in the Canadian communitarian system. So, yeah, that's what you have to look forward to if you sign on and make your deal. And then you have these other people who unfortunately are going to be forced into this situation with no choice, because they're obviously intentionally continually raising the prices of housing and accommodation. So that puts them in a situation where if somebody does make them an offer like that, where they'll get either cheaper accommodation or free accommodation, most of them are going to jump at that and take it. without worrying too much about what they're going to ask you to do in return. And that's where the error comes in, definitely. So, that's what you will be doing, and you've really got an exciting future ahead of you if you've signed on to become part of one of these quote-unquote communities in any of these smart cities. You really do. It'll be great fun, won't it? You'll have to be prepared. Anytime they send you a message, you're going to go out and do what they ask you to do. Because you have to, because that's what's right for the community. If one of your handlers sends you a text message at 2 a.m. and tells you he wants you to go with your family to the edge of a cliff and wait there, and then everybody's going to jump off the edge of the cliff, you'll do it gladly, right? If you're a member of the communitarian system, or if you're a member of one of these wonderful families, these pillars of the community, they'll do that gladly. That's how bad it is. That's how far gone they are, really. That's how far gone their minds are. Okay, exploiting children again there. That's what they do. They exploit their own children. So yeah, they'll do that without questioning. Sure, we'll do that. We'll go to the edge of a cliff at 2 a.m. and now the state is going to give you a free iPhone if everybody jumps off the edge of the cliff together. Oh, that sounds wonderful. Let's do that right now. That's what your that's what your people within the communitarian system would say. So usually they'd have your pillars of the community going to tell them to deceive them into doing this, right? And then they'll, for sure, that's what's best for the community, that we all go to the edge of a cliff at 2 a.m. Yes, we'll do that without questioning. First, we're going to have to put on our military camouflage clothing or our red and black plaid Freemasonic lumberjack attire that we're told to wear, because that's another thing you're going to have to look forward to if you sign on with the Canadian communitarian system, is you're going to have the joyful experience of having people dictate to you what clothing you wear each day. Just like you're in some sort of slave detainment camp or something. And they love it. They'll do it, sure. We get our free drugs for doing that, right? So they'll also give you that. If you have an addiction problem, they'll use that to control you as well if you're in this system. And it depends on your situation. Whatever they can use to control you, that's what they're going to use, because they prey on human vulnerabilities. And so, yeah, it's a really wonderful system. That's why you have so many great people endorsing it. And again, these people will defend their own oppressors relentlessly. The very people who are enslaving them and oppressing them, they'll do anything to support them. It really is like Stockholm Syndrome. It's like what is described in 1984. Like modern-day Canada is like Oceania in 1984. That's no exaggeration. So, another wonderful night of festivities begins with drug trafficking biker gangs driving back and forth in front of my workplace. I have that to look forward to. That'll be good fun. But yeah, so you will have some comforts if you agree to go along with this oppressive system, but you'll have to basically be utilized as a slave. Now I'm going to move on as this person goes. If this person's going to stand here, I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, it'll be good for you. I mean, it's a really wonderful system, and you get to take directions from your pillars of the community. These are your Masons and the families of Masons in your community, who will basically dictate to you what you're going to do. And if you don't go along with what they say, then they will no longer want you in the community. Okay, so that's another thing too. So when you sign on, you have to make sure you have these handlers. Essentially, they're like handlers, these pillars of the community. And of course, they get told what to say and do as well. But they're just at a little higher level than the proletariat are. So they get a few more privileges. And all they care about are material benefits anyway. They have no conscience, no basic decency. So they are the ones who they use to go and lie to these people and try and get them to do these things. Who do you think they used during that thing that they pulled off a few years ago? I won't mention that thing, YouTube. So you don't know what thing I'm referring to specifically. I'll just say that thing a few years ago. Who do you think they used to get all these people to go along with that thing a few years ago? Now, I'm not saying what thing, so you can't call that medical misinformation because I'm not telling anyone what thing I'm referring to. Okay? Just clarify that. Oh, that guy who usually goes over by his window and stands there shirtless isn't there tonight. What a shame. It's always wonderful to see him staring out. So we uploaded a video today, so we'll have some nonsense usually tonight. Well, we'd have that probably anyway, but... And maybe we'll upload another one tomorrow, too. I haven't decided yet. But, yeah, I mean, realistically, I guess I'm being a bit facetious there in taking a very serious matter and kind of being sarcastic about it. But, sometimes that's the way people deal with trauma. They have no other choice than to do that, because if you just sit there and dwell on it in a serious manner all the time, that kind of affects you and stresses you out, doesn't it? So people will sometimes use humor as a defense mechanism against trauma or sarcasm. And whether it's right or wrong, I can't say. I mean, unfortunately, I sometimes use sarcasm as a defense mechanism myself, I guess. And but it is disturbing. It's, in all seriousness, it's extremely disturbing. But that's the thing, is if you've got that many people who are just going to openly accept this, and who have been deceived in such a way, what can you do? I mean, you could talk to people, but this is the thing. This is why they want all communication going on online, because they control that completely. They can wipe away what they want and keep what they don't want. And that's what they're going to do as well with books, I might add. With Kindle, they're going to start wiping a lot more books away. That's why they don't want you to order real physical books, to preserve physical books, because they want to rewrite all these books or wipe them away completely. They've done a lot of that on Amazon already. And so with Kindle, they can easily do that and make it seem a little less obvious. It's not going to be actual physical book burning, because that people would notice that would stand out. But they are going to slowly get rid of the books that they don't like. So that's how that will go. It's not by accident that they first called it Kindle Fire. When they brought that out, I mean, if you can't tell, that's a reference to book burning. I mean, yeah, I think you gotta go back to school if you can't pick that one up. So people are catching on to that, I think, so they changed it now. It's just called, what do they just call it? Just Kindle, I don't know, they don't call it Kindle Fire anymore. I think it was a little bit too blatant, mockingly obvious, because that's what they do. They mock people in that way. These childish occult principles of mocking their victims of their tyranny. So yeah, they call it Kindle. They called it Kindle Fire, and now it's, what do they call it now? It's just Fire or something. Or I don't know what it is. But I used to have one of those, and I just prefer physical books. I know, again, it's convenient. That's the thing. That's what they use. They'll tell you it's convenient. It's more convenient. And as less people are buying books, that's going to give them more of an excuse to be able to just cut back on producing books completely, until everything is electronic and online and automated, and then they can edit it at their whim. They can take out what they want and put in what they want. Or they can completely remove the books from their systems. And then make excuses saying, well, we have the right to do this because this is our system. We can remove what we want and take out what we want, etc. It's all based around these deceitful methods. So, but they don't want people reading in general anyway. They want you to get all your information from videos. They want you to look to video. And that's because they're going to use video. Video is the method of deceit that they want to use moving forward. So they want everyone to just go to video. If you look at a website now, 9 times out of 10, if you're reading an article on a website, they'll have a video that will pop up next to the article. And it's really annoying too. It'll pop up, and sometimes you can't close it. So you're trying to read an article, and I'd rather read an article in general, because most of the people who are putting these videos up are just controlled by the state anyway. So they'll interrupt it, and a video will be there, and you try to stop the video, and it keeps playing, and it's in the middle of what you're trying to read. And that's set up by design.
They just want to condition people to get all their information through video and online. They don't want you really reading and challenging yourself to really think critically. So that's all by design, that stuff. Okay, where's the bus already? Let's see. But it's very important to preserve physical books as well. It's just like cash. If people are not buying books, then it gives them the excuse to be able to say, well, we need to phase them out. That's why you have to keep buying physical books, even if they're more. I know they intentionally charge more for them on Amazon than the Kindle version. But still, I mean, if people stop buying books, it makes it much easier for them to just say, well, there's no demand for it anymore. And they'll say, we're not doing it for any type of tyranny, it's just there's no demand. And they're doing it because they can predict human behavior, right? They know how that's going to go. They've conditioned people to want to get their information just from videos. And that's a dangerous method, to just use videos. You have to actually do real research. As it is now, you can still get some pretty good information on the Internet Archive for reading material. But even that, they're starting to slowly stifle some of that. So, to me, I think it's also important to preserve some of that, even if you have to download PDFs and stuff like that, and to preserve physical books. You know? That's disturbing. See too much of that around nowadays. You got the pipe in your hand too, completely out of it. Completely gone. Very sad. So, what do you think the solution is to that? Do you think it would be a good thing to place there a military police, okay, yeah. Military police there driving up. They used them before previous time in the military. Actually, the Ministry of Defense is right over here too. Just fair disclosure, it's just over here, the building on the right there. But why do you think that's become so prevalent and common now, seeing people like that? Just think about it, why? Do you think the solution is trying to help people like that get off of that stuff? Or do you think it's just to open more safe injection sites and turn a blind eye to it? Because you know very well who's allowing these things to occur. You know very well that people want that situation to be occurring in the country. If there weren't people in these influential positions who didn't want that to be happening, it wouldn't be happening. They could cut off the drugs from coming into the country in a heartbeat. They have the technology to do it. They have the most advanced technology ever to check who and what is coming in over the border, and yet somehow these drugs, they want you to believe they're just slipping in randomly. Okay, now no one with a functioning brain can possibly believe that's so. That would lead us to the conclusion that there are people, powerful people on the inside. There must be, obviously within our intelligence services, allowing these things to happen, and not only allowing them to happen, facilitating these things. And meanwhile, you have people in conditions like that as a result of this. And they have to run cover on this in the controlled media by trying to create this fake sense that, oh, if you just allow people to openly do drugs, it'll get better. Because it's inevitable and they need this. It's not inevitable. You stop them from being able to access it. You give them help to get off of it. And you run propaganda that is positive, that encourages people not to do drugs, like they used to in the 80s. See, they had to do that at first to make you think that, oh, that people are against it. And now they promote apathy. They promote just accept it. It's natural. You know, they have to do this, and there's no way of stopping it. Now that's just absurd and ridiculous. They could stop the drugs coming in a heartbeat. They're bringing it in intentionally, and the police are facilitating these things, and that's a fact beyond any shadow of a doubt. Okay? It couldn't be happening if you didn't have people in law enforcement facilitating the people who are dealing these drugs. Firstly, it'd be impossible. But as you see, even everything's changed. So now the propaganda they put out and what they put out in the media is to be apathetic and just think, well, it's going to happen anyway. You might as well just help them get their drugs. Like, what? You might as well just help them kill themselves? That's not what you do to help people. You get them help for their addiction, and then you cut the drugs off from coming in so that they can't access them. They're not going to do any of that because they want these people to die, and it's all planned depopulation. That's what it's all about. Drugs are a major part of that. It's also, they need the drugs to control people, the people who they use, because they'll do anything for these addictions. And so that's how it works. And so, very sad, but that's what you see nowadays. Another thing you'll notice is with her being in that condition, despite her being in that condition, being completely gone and looking like she might pass out, do you see anyone around her asking, are you okay? Is there anything we can do to help you? No. No, it's just apathy. People turn a blind eye to that. There could be someone lying in front of them, dying in the street, and they would just turn a blind eye and go about their day, right? And that's another thing, too, that's been promoted, this apathy, selfishness, and things of that nature. They don't care if somebody's dying right in front of them. That's why you have so many people who are willing to partake in these harassment activities. All they care about is materialism and themselves and getting their new phone or whatever it is. You know, they don't care that somebody's in that kind of condition in front of them. They don't care that people are dying in their streets continually as a result of these narcotics. They're fine with it. The ones that, you know, they're just pretending she's not even there. They're oblivious to it because it becomes so normalized now too. That's another thing. It's become so normalized that they just accept it as their surroundings. Now imagine that in like the late 1950s. You saw that. People would be horrified, and they'd try to help the person, right? They'd be horrified by that. Now it's become so normalized that they just expect to see that around them, and that's how far things have fallen, how downhill things have gone, and it's just become normalized to see that. And in Vancouver, it's even worse with what you see on the streets there than here in Ottawa, where I am now in Ottawa. Or in Toronto. Toronto, it's really bad too, but Vancouver seems to be the worst for that stuff, but it's all over the country. In the United States, I mean, I don't even need to tell you about that. You can see that, what's going on there with the same things. So, check the streets of any major city, and you'll see that going on, and you'll see people just treating it like it's normal, like it's natural, like it's nothing to worry about. That's one of the major things you notice. Complete apathy. It's just been normalized to see that. Nobody even notices, nobody looks twice or anything. They just stare at their phones and continue on their day with their days. You can see that. continue staring at their phones, even if somebody was dying right in front of them.
As I am just about to get on the bus here, take note of this individual directly in front of me who is wearing I think it's a Barcelona soccer jersey. You'll see they've made sure that I see him by having him stand directly in front of me. And he's going to follow into a different province and turn up at the place right next door to where I'm going. So you'll see that here, and then you'll see him after I get off the bus. I'm going to briefly go into the gas station to get a couple things, the variety store, and then as I come out, you'll see him turn up again, and you'll see him do his acting skit where he slowly walks over to the place right next door to where I live and stands out in front. So following me into a different province and going to the place right next door to where I live. You'll see that here.
Someone's gonna come and get a coffee again for that. It's like coughing coming up. Oh, a lot of it on there. Did you hear bits of it? Even with the music. Places bags, yeah, another one like it. Was that guy on the bus? I think he might have been there. He's probably gonna walk into the place where I live or something, or right next to it. Obviously they told him to wait because I got off the bus there. So he's just walking up now. I think he was, or maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's somebody else with a jersey. If it's that guy I saw, he was at the Dorito Center too. So you can see holding up the phone walking like a tortoise. Probably he's going to turn into the place next to mine or into the place where I live. Yeah, yes, he's turning into the place where I live. Let's see where he goes. Oh no, he's going to the place next to it. So let's see from here. Yeah, see, he was at Rito Center. He got on the same bus as me. I think he got off. Did he get off? Maybe he got off one stop before. But he was on the bus where I was, so you can see that's the same guy there. You can see him at Rito Center there and getting on the bus as well. When the Barcelona. Now they told him to just stop here, so I see him standing here. So that's what you got to do when you've signed onto your slave agreement. No freedom here. Yeah, same guy there. So this is where I'm going in on the right here, and he's standing here, as you can see. Now, notice the time. Notice the time. Watch. Now he's going in, right? Yeah, he was at Rito Center, and he got on the same bus as me as well. And then he's going into the place next door to here.
Here I'm waiting at the bus stop on the morning of August 1st, 2025, and you will see that they intentionally send that same stalker who was sent to follow me all the way to where I live from Rideau Center in Ottawa to follow me to Hull and to walk over and stand at the place right next door to where I live holding a phone. And then as soon as I got there, he looks at the phone and then goes into the place. So obviously he was told to do that foolish acting skit as well. And then, of course, the next day, they know that I was editing segments for the video, because I'm going to show that in a video, and everything I do on my laptop gets monitored by these criminals at CSIS. So they know that I'm going to put this guy in the video. So what do? The very next day, as I'm waiting for the bus, they send the same guy wearing the same Barcelona soccer jersey, which apparently he hasn't changed since the previous day, to walk right over next to me and stand next to me so that I'll see him. And they're hoping that I'll get angry or there'll be some reaction. And I've seen these things too many times. But again, you'll see they just use these people like useful idiots. Yeah, so he's going to walk directly over, and they've told him to stand right next to me so that I'll see him, because they know already that I'm going to put him in the video. And it's obvious that that is pretty clear stalking, what he was doing, sending him right to the place directly next door to where I live, to stand there and following me right from in front of the bus there into a second province to do that. So anyway, you'll see him walking up next to me, and they purposefully have him go over and stand right next to me, so I'll see him here the very next day after he did that assignment.
There we go again. You can see here. They know this is going to be the video, right? So you can see this here. Obviously, he's going to follow again right to the place next to me and get off. And so you can see again there. That's also, as you can see, that's there yesterday, who followed right to the place next to where I live, and who they told to wait for me as I exited the store, and then they told him to stand outside of the place right next to where I live, and then they have him walk up next to me again today, as you can see. So just gonna put him on mine. Obviously they've sent him back purposefully, so. And he's gonna walk in the same place too, right next to where I live. So see his face here? Okay. Yeah, you can see they've told him to walk up next to me again here today, so obviously intentionally. And he's going to follow from here and go to the place right next to where I live. Obviously they've told him to return because I was editing the video, and they know I'm going to put him in the video. So they told him to return and walk up next to me here. Okay, have one. Yesterday, as you can see too, they had him standing there, waiting right till I got there. And then when I got there, he headed towards to enter the place right next to where I live. This guy here. So they're hoping for some reaction, so I'm just gonna call him and do his thing. But that's stalking. Anyone can see that, especially with all the other things I've shown. And it's CSIS and Daniel Rogers who's sending this guy to do this as well, to follow me home and go to the place right next to where I live. So let him get on there. I'm not going to get on with this stalker here. And we'll see if they'll probably have him standing in front of there when I get there. It's the guy there with the Barcelona jersey. Again, I was editing the video with him in it where they had him follow me right to the house where I live yesterday, from Ottawa to Quebec. And so they know I'm going to put that in there, so they have him walk right up next to me and stand there next to me again today. So I'll just wait for the next one. We'll see if they have him stand outside today. They'll probably tell him to stand outside of the place. You'll see again, he's at the place. Yesterday they had him get on right in front of me purposely so I'd see him, notice him right in front of me, and then he gets off where I get off. He waits as I go into the store, obviously, and then as I exit, he's walking really slowly, obviously just an act, towards right near where I live. And then of course he goes to the place right next door to where I live and stands there. Because they told him to do that. So today they've told him again to follow me to where I live and attempt to do that crap again. So let's see if this one goes out to. Okay. Not sure if that one goes to. No, I'd never seen that guy before either. So they just started sending. It's Daniel Rogers and CSIS sending him to do that. We're gonna put him next to Daniel Rogers' face too. I think.
Walking up in front of her like cackling. It's gotta be strange to be a slave to have to do things like that. So as soon as I walk up, you can see him like smirking, and he like walks in front of the house and stands in front of the house. Here, you can see this, right? I'll just show you. Acting like he has to cross. He came right there. He's waiting in front of the house. Let's wait till this creep goes away. Grown adult who conducts himself like a 5-year-old child. This guy has to get instructions for everything he does. Probably has to get instructions to blow his nose too. There you go. There you go. It's okay. Your handler said you can walk now. Fucking weirdo. They had him probably positioned right there to walk up in front and say exit. You can see why he's there. Then the other day, as you will see in this video, they had this guy in Ottawa follow me all the way, get on the bus. They made sure he was right in front of me, so I saw him. He was wearing like a Barcelona soccer jersey. He follows, gets off where I get off, waits for me as I go into the store. Then as I come out, he walks over right to the house, the place next door to where I live, and stands out in front. Then just as I get there, he looks at the phone and walks toward the door. I mean, who would do that without questioning that? How ridiculous that is. You know, like, grown adults don't agree to do things like that unless you have something wrong with you, man. Seriously. But he'll get his, whatever it may be, the gift card or whatever they gave him for that. I don't know. It's probably he's probably receiving free accommodation as well to do things like that.
Here, as I enter the train station, you're going to see a short street theater skit where some guy, I don't know whether he's a vagrant or a drug addict or what, but he's someone who they sent to repeat this quote from the movie Scarface. And it's from that scene where Al Pacino's character, Tony Montana, is sitting in the restaurant, and he's drunk out of his mind, and he starts cursing and starts saying, say goodnight to the bad guy. There's a bad guy coming through. He says, you need people to look, he says, you need people like me, so you can point your effing finger and say, there's the bad guy. So he repeats that quote, and the interesting thing is this is also directed conversation, because many years back, in one of my friends in Toronto, we would kind of joke around and do impressions of that quote from the movie. So of course my conversations have been listened to for years, and this is the truth. This is very disturbing. So they know that I'll understand what that is, and that's a quote we used to always do joking little impressions of that quote from the movie, myself and a couple friends of mine. So of course, as this guy walks by, he shouts that quote right as he passes me, and you'll see it's from the movie Scarface, when he's in the restaurant and he's drunk, and he just kind of goes on that tirade, and kind of amusing. But anyway, that's why they have that guy saying that as he passes me. Now, to other people there, they might just think he's just some crazy vagrant who's shouting. But I recognized that right away, and it was directed conversation, and he was sent to do this short street theater skit quoting from the movie Scarface there.
You need guys like me, yeah! You need guys like me so you can put your fucking finger and say, hey, that bomb, yeah! Here I am. Bring it out, here I come. Yeah, you need guys like me so you can put your fucking finger in your hands up on here. Here I am. Bring it out, here I come.
I don't think where's St. Joseph? Is that St. Joseph there? I think I gotta go around the other way. Final score. Ended. Okay, that's okay. Still did well. Okay, so where is St. Joseph? Is this St. Joseph here? I think it's around the other side, actually. Yeah, it's got to get a few more things. That grocery section sucks, actually. I mean, it's not very good, but I needed pants, so. Okay. Where's St. Joseph? Is this St. Joseph here? Ambulances that come out, as you can see here. Or does it come out of the Walmart ambulance? Yeah, they are. An ambulance right on cue. See them going down there. Is this? Yeah, I guess. Am I going the right way? I think so. Where's the wall? Where's the Dollarama? Or is it around that way? Where is it? We'll see the cops here probably too. Ambulance bumbles over there as I come out of the Walmart. And they go just down there to park and sit there. Okay, where? Is this St. Joseph? Oh yeah, I think it is, yeah. That's actually just up there, I think. I thought it was on the right. So maybe I'm not going the right way. Why does it not have street signs here? So wait. Can you not? Is that it there? Oh yeah, I think it's this way. Is it? Am I going the wrong way? Where's the street sign for that? It's not even there. I'll check it out. Right here as I exit, as you see. First an ambulance now. Now these folks here just as I exit. Smirking too. Just as I exit. What else would they be doing, right? Today? You can see how quiet the road is, and then they show up to stalk and harass just as I exit the Walmart. Smirking too. Just as I exit. What else would they be doing, right? Today? You can see how quiet the road is, and then they show up to stalk and harass just as I exit the Walmart. That one I've never been to before. Grown adult children, those people are. And completely immature, completely incompetent, and unfit to be in their positions. But those are the types of people they hire now for those positions. So which direction is it? Because I got my phone with me too. That's another way. There's a second police car here too. Check this out now. As I've exited Walmart, second police car, an ambulance and 2 police cars now. I'm just trying to figure out which way it is. Because I don't usually come up this direction. Second one here. Yeah, I got him on camera too. Just want to see, is it down there? Or is it the other way? That's car number 28 there. That one I can see that number. So 2 police cars and an ambulance as I exit. Just want to see if it's that way. It must be this way. Because, where's the Dollarama though? It's got to be this way, I think. Let's go down. Let's see. Got the stalkers out wearing their red shirts today. Wearing what they've been told to wear, like good obedient slaves. I think this is St. Joseph. Here's a stalking biker too. So 2 police cars, an ambulance, and one of the stalking biker creeps, or two of them anyway. A little quieter on the bike there. Both sides of the street with these characters here. Let's cross over here. No fake coughing? Oh, it's got to be down there, I guess, is it? I don't know. Yeah, that's what the Gatineau police do, is basically stalk me for their job. That's what their job is. Because no crime really goes on anyway. So they have to make stuff up to pretend that they're doing things. Okay, so I've switched to the other pair of glasses now. I go into here, get the few things that I need in here. And fake coffee near here. And let's just stand there staring out at the street. As we go in here, you can hear a lot of that stuff. Fake coughing whenever I go by, they'll do that. Didn't get much of it in there because I said it before, so I'm saying it again here. We'll see what we got. Once that guy becomes that. There's usually some stuff they do in here, like just getting awkwardly close to you and stuff like that in the aisles. Typically they'll send people in here. I've never been to that other place, so maybe that's why they kind of didn't. It didn't seem too awkward there. But if you're a regular, they know where you're going. Okay, let's see if I got any more place next to me now. I'm coming out of the second store. Coughing on the way, like I said. A little bit of it in there, not as much as I expected. This right here. Notice that, right as she gets to me, she goes, notice that, right as she gets to me, she goes, you hear that? Right on cue. It's gotta be weird to be a slave to do things like that. Yeah, as soon as she goes by, she goes, pick that up on the, I think the audio picked that up probably. Creepy people, man. Creepy people who do things like that. Really odd. Those are slaves, though. That's what you get when you live in a slave system. Have to do what you're told. Got to make fake coughing noises right when you go by people. There's the police as I come up here. I've switched the glasses, as you can see. This is because the time on the other ones was running out. So as I come out of the second store, police car number 28, which I believe was the one that passed up there as well, is showing up again. So that's 3 of them today showing up, doing no legitimate work and just stalking, as always. A fraudulent organization of criminal Masons. And then as I came out of the store there, you could hear literally right as that woman passes, she goes that fake coughing noise that they're told to make as they pass you. It's a sensitization, so everywhere you go you have people going as they pass you. It's really excellent system. So let's see what this one is. FTM 4305.